Hello everybody, I felt that I had to make part 2 to this video, although really I am putting together stuff that's already out on this channel. I was a little bit upset basically with all the thumbs down really and some of the comments that have come through, because obviously nobody of those people have actually looked at the channel to see that I made 10 videos of the drive. 9 actually are blurry videos trying to work out what all this was, and 1 explaining what the district attorney had said.
Police reportedly have video from a neighbor's security camera showing Watts back his pickup truck into the garage at 5 a.m. on Monday, just hours after Shannon got home from a business trip, filling the back of that truck with several large bags, including, Bill, a gas can.
The defendant then methodically and calmly loaded their bodies into his work truck, not in a hasty or disorganized way. He was seen from the neighbor's doorbell camera backing his truck into the driveway, going back and forth into the house and back out to the truck 3 different times, 1 time for each of their bodies.
Police get a break in the form of the Watts' next-door neighbor, Nate Trinastich. He has a security camera on the front of his house.
It's right there above your head. What I did is said I have the video surveillance. The only thing I caught was Chris backing his truck into the garage.
That the district attorney had said that they had caught him with taking the bodies out. They'd seen it. They saw it. That's what the district attorney led everybody to believe in that video at his sentencing. Then there's this video, and another channel kept saying that it was his girlfriend on there, and I thought, well, let's have a look. But the only thing was, when I broke it down, it wasn't saying any of that. In fact, it kind of leads you to the feeling that you can see what's kind of going on, and that, you know, you can see him doing this. You can see him. You can see shadows on the drive, so you know that someone else was there. It was the child. You can see him swoop. You can... Those that have kept up with this and watched the breakdown see that it's Shannon going out, and maybe children. But what it is there's bits of this video, and then bits of this video, and when you break it down, you see all this other stuff. So that was a bit alarming, because, you know, if it was professionally done, then surely they would have just blurred out that bit. Yeah, and the blur going across was him. I mean, we didn't even need to see that. We'd seen so much of the case. You know, they gave it to us, you know. And then, so we've got that. And then when Patricia started going through the document and came to that page 488, reading what the police officer put in the discovery file was then completely different. He was saying that the camera turned off. And then, on the news, I noticed Nate saying exactly the same thing. You've got the district attorney saying one thing and Nate saying something else. Please don't shoot the messenger. I am extremely upset at this. This whole case is horrible from the start to beginning to the end, to everything. And the start, the beginning, the middle, the end, and actually the ending is even worse, because most of us thought something like that had happened to Bella, and there you go, now we're being told it did. And then here, put publicly, is stuff that doesn't match up. None of this matches up. There's just so many things which are wrong. I mean, the police gave out everybody's names and addresses and telephone numbers. Come on, everybody. Come on. I mean, what was it? A warning to all of us? If you get caught in a case, we're going to disclose everybody's information. Yours, your parents, your friends, your family. What is this? Each week, the man was convicted in November, and he's now, when we've had the doorbell stuff with Shannon, the video, which I can understand the family may not wanting to go out. That was the last piece of their daughter alive, but wouldn't that have saved a lot of speculation and YouTube jumping up and down and going wild and making all these accusations? And then now you've got all this happening this week, you know, with Dr. Phil and Chris Watts now saying another statement, and actually it sounds even worse. I mean, how that could put the family's mind at rest to know that happened. I mean, it would have been bad enough, but wouldn't it have been better if he told it then? At least they might have started already to heal, and now they're being told all this stuff, and so basically they've got to start healing all over again, because now their minds will be that poor child. It's bad enough on their daughter and Cece, but oh my goodness, it breaks your heart even more. So we've got all that, and actually it's not my fault that Nate said he didn't capture Chris Watts except backing onto the drive. It's not my fault that the discovery document says that. Didn't we want the truth? Isn't it? Aren't we here for the truth? Didn't we want the truth? We already know Chris Watts is lying and lying and lying and lying and lying and truth and lies and truth and lies. Look how much money this has cost everybody. Look at the drama, look at everything. I'm just a bit concerned that after all those hours I spent on the drive, I come across this. So I am upset, and people are calling me stupid, and what am I doing? I'm trying to show you that things just don't add up, and I'm really upset myself. Anyway, I'm going to put the rest of the video out now.
Police get a break in the form of the Watts' next-door neighbor, Nate Tranastich. He has a security camera on the front of his house.
It's right there above your head. What I did is said I have the video surveillance. The only thing I caught was Chris backing his truck into the garage.
Like I said, that drive footage is an hour and however long, 14, 18 minutes long.
I think it's about an hour. It starts like a few minutes before he starts backing the truck up, and then, but it must have started working, maybe him doing something triggered it. The Neighbours one, I mean, I'm surprised his didn't get triggered then. And then, you know, then it's on basically until after he leaves. He's actually left and the camera's still on. But you've got a good hour.
Yeah, because you know the first bit, it shows him coming out of the house twice. And that's why some people have thought there was somebody else there. But that's just, it's not loads. I think the person who actually did the video what sort of like taped it and then stopped it and then started it again, but not bothered taking the first bit off. So it was one full piece.
Well, you know, I've broken it
shows
down.
him doing it twice.
I've broken it. Listen, I think the best thing they should have done was blur it, the whole thing. Blur the whole thing. We didn't need to see that, you know.
Or not even show it out whatsoever. But
Yeah.
the fact is, the detective was there, and we saw it on Nate's television. So, of course, people are going to say, "Well, can't we see that? We couldn't really see that on his telly." And you know, we want to see it, and they've either botched it up that much to make everything fit in the timescale that Chris says, or was it 10 minutes? He was on the drive, you know.
All I can say is
He was only on the drive for 10 minutes.
That's pretty damn quick, isn't it, to do to get. Well, I know that. Oh, this sounds really bad when we're saying this, but obviously the children would have been easy to get in there. But 10 minutes and he had to move Shanann. Wow. But he was, in a sense, though. Why would he have hung around? Why would he have been there an hour? You know.
Well, knowing him, he'd probably gone for a workout. I'll just have a bit of a workout before I'll go. I don't know. I'm just joking.
So basically, we did this little video about that paragraph. So when you were reading it, what's your feeling with the way they've written it? Because they've given us footage with him leaving. So what? It just doesn't read right, because on that paragraph, they're talking about the Neighbours footage. He's talking about Chris Watts, and then he says that there was no video, that it wasn't working, but he doesn't say which one.
I did is said I have the video surveillance. The only thing I caught was Chris backing his truck into the garage. What I did is said I have the video surveillance. The only thing I caught was Chris backing his truck into the garage.
Yeah, shall I just read the...
Yeah, go for it. Go for it.
Detective Hover or whatever, stated the surveillance video also did not show Chris driving away. So that to me means also did not show Chris driving away, because the camera had turned off. So that had turned off makes it sound like they're on about
the neighbour.
Nate's camera, yeah. Because if it was on about Chris's, it would say that the camera was turned off, not had turned off. It's the wording. That's what got me. It's like the camera was turned off. And they would say Chris's camera was turned off. And you only got Nate's version of what happened. But it says the surveillance video also did not show Chris driving away. So if it didn't, I don't know, it just...
You mean it's like the person writing it has mashed it all into one, so you don't know, because in a sense you don't
know which camera he's talking about.
They've shown us, haven't they, the footage of him going. It is different to how he reverses in. He's parked on the side of the road, like I said, waits for the neighbour to leave, then reverses in. But when he leaves, he goes up that other road. He comes off the drive and goes up, just goes straight across up the road. So where did they get that from then?
Well, there was a difference in the, 1 minute it was dark and an hour later it was light. But if it was only on there for 10 minutes, it wouldn't have changed that quickly, would it? I mean, I don't know. It just...
He was in that twilight thing.
Can we trust anything? Can we trust anything that they've said? Really?
That was just the point that we wanted to put out on this little video, wasn't it, Patricia?
What, sorry?
That was the point we wanted to make on this little video.
Yeah. None of it. I mean, you've done a lot of, of actually what the footage is showing, and it's like, none of it really makes sense. All them faces. I mean, why didn't they just say at the beginning, this is only just to sort of keep your mind, well, to give you this information, but why not tell us that they've blurred it? They've done all this stuff to it. You know,
anyway, they didn't blur it very well. They didn't blur it very well. They did also, they hacked it. It's like someone's hacked it.
Yeah, it's like a 3-year-old child's just copied and pasted pictures, that it's got in the magazine at the side of it and just stuck all over. So it doesn't make sense. That's what it is. If they'd have just blocked out the fact that you could possibly see one of the, Shanann or the kids, then fair enough. But it just looks, it's like, it just looks stupid. And why did they bother putting it out in the first place then, if it was so botched up? Did they think we're that stupid that we can't work this out? That, people are just going to go, oh look, he's bringing it out, that time span.